Billy in Taiwan writes to me. He says that we all know DSD is very hard for editing. Well, you're right, Billy. I'm not sure we all know that, but indeed, DSD cannot be, well, it can be edited, just to be clear. It's easy to take a section of DSD and move it over here, or cut it, or splice it, move it around, turn it upside down, do all that kind of stuff. What you can't do with DSD is change the level or mix it with another track. You just can't do it. It's one bit, and with one bit you can't do digital arithmetic because you only got one bit. So he's right. And we can avoid PCM if recorded DSD from some old sound modules or synthesizers. But I'm wondering, is it possible to make electronic music with nonlinear editing skills like mixing or tuning with DSD, even by an indie musician? Billy. Well, yeah, kinda. I mean, first off, DSD is the best recording medium on the planet. It just is. So, and it's better than PCM any day. And there's a whole bunch of, part of it is the converters, how the conversion is done. And by conversion, I mean from analog to digital. So that process of converting analog to digital is far better sounding, far more resolving if done in DSD. But the cool thing is that once you take a proper A to D and use it to, at the right sample rates and all that, to record analog into DSD, now once you have that, now you have a digital form that we can do something with. Again, we can edit, yes, but now we need to mix it. Now we need to do stuff with it. So there's only two ways to do that. Back to analog, which is the traditional way, or what we'll be doing at Octave Records. Soon enough, as soon as the studio is open, we will be focusing on using our new Zephyr filter. And the Zephyr filter is a miracle of mathematics. So, and it's not widely available. I'm going to work with the guys who invented it, a couple of mathematicians and programmers that invented the Zephyr filter, to try and make it available to people. But for the time being, what we do know is that, as I explained, because of the way processors work, you can make a much better, perfect sounding capture of music, whether it's electronic music or voice or whatever you have, using DSD. Then the trick is editing. And analog works, but it's not as good as it could be. So what we have found is using the Zephyr filter, we can go from capturing perfectly in DSD, then transferring to PCM to what they call DXD, which is, 385? 352, sorry. I'm not a numbers guy. 352 kilohertz, but it's basically 4FS. And we can talk about that later. But it captures everything in DSD perfectly without any loss whatsoever. Then we can mix. Then we can do whatever we want. And then we suffer a small bit of loss going back to DSD using what's called an SDM, a sigma delta modulator. So far, no one has come up with a sigma delta modulator that's perfect. Supposedly, my math friends tell me that it actually can't be done, but I've heard all that before. I remember a friend of mine said there's no way that machines will ever be able to understand what somebody says. Just go ask Siri or Alexa about that. Okay, so never say never, but currently the best SDMs in the world have a little bit of loss. Not much, it's not bad, and it's far less than going D to A, mix, mix, mix in analog, and then A to D. That process of DSD, Zephyr, mixing on an excellent board like Pyramix, then using the world's best SDMs that you can to go back to DSD. That whole process, that chain, is so far state of the art. It's as good as it gets. So, hope that answers your question. Thanks for asking, and I'll talk to you later.